This morning, your news now.
14 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Welcome back. Time for Car Talk with our friend Chuck Miller. Chuck is the car care expert. Chuck, good morning. If you have a question, give us a call. In the meantime, I want to talk to you about brakes. I have a friend of mine that wants to go to one of these inexpensive cut rate brake dealerships. Not mentioning any names, but it would seem to me like the cheaper the brakes you buy, the shorter they're going to live and the worse they're going to perform. Am I wrong?
You are correct. Brakes are one of the things that are kind of like tires. You can spend just a little bit more and get a much better product, and they'll last twice as long, sometimes 3 times as long. So the value is not in buying a cheaper brake pad. It's really not. And the same thing with the rotors. There's so many Chinese rotors out there now that you can buy for $10 and $20. But it's your life that's on the line, and they're just not good at all. I mean, we see so many of them come in that they've only had 10 or 15, 20,000 miles on them. They're already turning blue where they've been so hot.
Wow.
So it's just, that's one of those things you literally just spend a little bit more and you can get quite a bit of difference in it.
And on the brake pads, a lot of times if you're trying to do this yourself, you will see dust, I guess it's brake pad dust, inside the tire, and it's amazing how much of that junk can accumulate in there.
Well, it can, but if you use a good ceramic pad, you won't see that. And if you do, it'll be very minimal.
Is there a brand that you recommend specifically at your place?
Well, we try to go back with a factory pad. If not, we'll go back with an Akebono, or there's a new brand out now that's been really good. I think AEDC or something like that.
Right.
We've just started using it, so I'm not that familiar with it. But Akebono, AC Delco, Motorcraft, you know, a lot of the import pads, go back with a factory pad or a good pad.
One of the things that we have seen on your messages here on News 12 is the importance of checking hoses in your car. And a lot of people think, well, if I do it in September, it's going to be good for the next year. Not true.
No, I mean, that's something you need to do every 6 months probably. But just go out before you start the car up and make sure you check them. And you can feel a difference. I'd say most people can anyway. If you squeeze the hose and it hears crackling noise or something like that, or it feels crunchy in your hand,
not good.
Then it's time to replace it. Because if you can feel that breaking of the rubber, then it's going to pop and you're going to be on the side of the road somewhere.
And one of the things that you have taught us over the years is if you bite these little problems off early, you're not going to have a huge big problem a little further down the road.
Exactly.
Regular preventive maintenance always is a plus.
Just a small amount of checking your hoses every 6 months could literally save you thousands and thousands, because if that hose gets a hole in it and you don't realize it and it overheats, it could ruin an engine.
I'm going to steal another minute here. I want to talk about your new business acquisition that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If you missed it, Chuck has now taken over Grant's Auto Trim.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the overview of what you're doing to Grant's and how you might be doing things a little differently.
Well, actually, I'm trying not to change anything other than letting people know that we're still open. A lot of people think that are closed, and getting the ideas out there that we do custom work and we do factory work. We're doing right now, we are a contract for Ford Motor Company to putting leather seats in all their new Ford trucks.
Wow.
So
pretty cool.
Brand new trucks. I mean, 0 miles on them. They come in, we're putting leather interior in them.
Pretty cool. And Grant's Auto Trim, the preeminent auto trim dealer within hundreds of miles. And Grant's has been around how long?
Over 80 years.
Yeah, over 80 years. You know they're doing something right, and now they've got a great asset in Chuck Miller. Chuck, tell us how we can get in touch with you and to find out more information.
875-2276 and 5128 Hickson Pike, right next to Avis House.
And your website is?
HicksonTransmission.com.
HicksonTransmission.com. When it comes to your automobile, deal with the best. 10 minutes away from 7, we are back with more after this.